Have you ever had that strange but beautiful feeling deep within you, like your soul knows something before your mind can make sense of it? A quiet stirring, a whisper that something is about to shift in your life. Something significant, though it hasn't quite taken form yet? It might come as a flutter in your chest, a sudden pause in your thoughts, or a gentle tug in your spirit, pulling you towards something you can't fully name. That feeling is more than intuition. It's a signal, and you're not imagining it. This very week, that mysterious energy swirling inside you may be echoing something much greater, a celestial unfolding, a cosmic conversation that's already in motion. We're stepping into Dark Sky Week this April, and while it might look like just a celebration of astronomy or stargazing to some, to those who are attuned, it's something much deeper. This isn't just about watching the stars. This is a spiritual turning point, a sacred invitation, a realignment of energy that could open doorways you didn't even know were closed. As the skies darken and the light of the moon dims, something magical begins to awaken above and within us. This is not just a lack of moonlight, it's an unveiling. It's as though the universe is pulling back the curtain, revealing truths that were always there, just waiting for the right moment to be seen. And that moment is now. The energy in the atmosphere is shifting, subtly but powerfully, like a gentle current changing course. You might feel it in unexpected ways, through dreams that linger longer, synchronicities that start showing up, emotions rising to the surface, or that quiet but unmistakable sense that you're standing at the edge of something new. Dark Sky Week is a cosmic pause, a sacred breath in the rhythm of the universe. When artificial light is reduced and natural darkness is allowed to return, we begin to see the stars in a way that feels ancient, almost holy. This clarity in the heavens is mirrored by a clarity within. The noise quiets down, the distractions fall away, and what's left is a pure connection between you and the sky. A moment where time feels suspended and the veil between what's seen and unseen becomes delicate, thin. The stars aren't just distant points of light. They are storytellers, keepers of memory, and messengers of change. Since the beginning of time, humans have looked to the stars for guidance, inspiration, and reassurance. Not because they need to escape the Earth, but because the stars reflect what's happening here, inside us. As above, so below. What shifts in the cosmos often stirs the soul. This week carries the energy of transformation, of awakening, and of realignment. It's not a loud or dramatic change. It's subtle, yet unmistakable. The kind of shift that doesn't just move through your life, but moves through your spirit. Something is recalibrating. You may notice old patterns rising up, not to torment you, but to offer one final look before you choose to let them go for good. You may feel called to slow down, to go inward, to ask yourself questions you've been avoiding. That is not a coincidence, that is the invitation. In ancient times, dark sky periods were believed to be powerful portals for spiritual insight. With less light in the sky, our senses heighten and our awareness turns inward. There is wisdom in the stillness. There is guidance in the dark. Not the kind of darkness that brings fear, but the kind that brings rest, renewal, and revelation. In nature, the dark is where seeds are planted, where roots deepen, where life begins its quiet preparation before blooming into something new. You are in that stage right now. Even if everything on the outside feels the same, something within you is shifting, aligning, preparing. So take this moment seriously, honor it, let it be a sacred space in your life. Not just a passing week. Step into it intentionally. Find moments of stillness, even if only for a few minutes each day, and listen. Not just with your ears, but with your heart, your breath, your body. The universe is always communicating, always offering guidance, but it speaks softly. You have to be quiet enough to hear it. Right now, in this exact moment, pause and ground yourself. Breathe deeply. Inhale the idea of change, of possibility, of expansion. Exhale whatever you've outgrown. Fear, doubt, hesitation. Say it aloud and mean it with your whole heart. I am ready for change, and the wisdom the universe has for me. Let those words echo in your chest. Let them sink into your bones. Feel how powerful that declaration is, not because of how loud it is, but because of how real it is. You've just opened a door. You've just aligned your energy with what's already on its way to you. And if your heart nudges you, say it again, or even write it down. Let the universe see it. Let your energy send out a beacon into the sky, like a soft but steady pulse saying, I am ready. There's something undeniably potent about naming your readiness. It's a sacred act of co-creation. You're not waiting for the universe to deliver something while you sit passively by. You're stepping forward as a willing participant in your own becoming. You're choosing to meet the moment. Dark Sky Week is not just for astronomers, dreamers, or night owls. It's for anyone ready to reconnect, to rediscover what's been buried beneath the noise of daily life. The absence of moonlight isn't an absence at all. It's a gentle reminder that sometimes less light allows us to see more clearly. Not just the stars, but the quiet truths within ourselves. It's a time to reflect, to recalibrate, and to remember who you really are beneath all the layers the world has placed on you. And if you've felt disconnected lately, spiritually, emotionally, creatively, you are not alone. This week offers a rare opportunity to realign, to step back into flow, not by forcing anything, but by allowing space. Let your nights be slower, let your mornings be softer, journal your thoughts, light a candle, meditate under the stars. Have a conversation with the universe, as strange as that might sound. You'll be surprised how quickly it responds when you're willing to listen. There's a sacred silence in the dark sky, a hush that invites depth. In this stillness, answers come not as thunderous revelations, but as whispers, gentle knowings, quiet insights, subtle but powerful nudges toward what feels true. You may begin to realize what no longer fits. You may uncover new dreams or rediscover old ones. You may suddenly know what you need to do, not because someone told you, but because your soul finally spoke loud enough to be heard. Don't underestimate the power of this time. The universe is wise and deliberate. It doesn't always shout. It often speaks in symbols and synchronicities and feelings you can't quite explain. Pay attention. A song lyric that hits differently. A memory that resurfaces. A stranger's words that feel oddly meant for you. These are all messages. Cosmic breadcrumbs. Signs that you're being gently guided, even when you can't see the full map. Let this week be a ritual, a gentle rebirth, a time to release what's been heavy, to soften into yourself, and to allow the next chapter of your journey to begin, not with pressure, but with presence. There's no need to force anything. What's meant for you will arrive in its time, but your openness is what creates the path for it to walk in. Trust the process. Trust yourself. You are more in tune with the universe than you realize. Look up at the stars this week, even if only for a moment. Let yourself feel their stillness, their steadiness, their ancient light traveling across time just to meet your eyes. Let it remind you that you are part of something vast and beautiful and mysterious. You belong to this cosmos. You are not separate from it. The stars you see are not just above you. They are within you. The same elements that form them are in your bones. The same spark that lights them also lights your soul. So take this week as a blessing, as a sacred gift, as a gentle, powerful reminder that transformation doesn't always begin with thunder. It often begins with silence, with stillness, with stars quietly glowing in a darkened sky. And as you move through these next few days, carry this truth with you. You are being prepared for something more. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are aligning, awakening, remembering. Let go of the rush. Let go of the doubt. Let yourself soften into this moment and trust what's unfolding. You don't have to know exactly what's coming to be ready for it. You only have to be open. The sky is speaking, the energy is shifting, and you, just by being aware, just by feeling this, are already in the process of becoming. Keep watching, keep listening, keep trusting. The stars have more to say, and they've chosen this moment to whisper it straight into your soul. On the evening of April 6th, just after dusk begins to wrap its velvet arms around the earth, look to the west, northwest sky. The day's light will be fading. That special moment between sunlight and starlight stretching across the horizon. And in that quiet shift from day to night, your eyes will catch something. Steady, golden, and impossibly distant. That's Capella, one of the brightest stars in our sky. It will appear calm and unmoving, a glimmering eye in the darkening firmament. But Capella is anything but ordinary. To most of us, Capella might first look like just another bright point in the sky, no different from the hundreds of others we might glance past. But when you pause, when you truly let yourself settle into the gaze of that golden light, something begins to stir, a quiet sense of wonder, a whisper from the cosmos. Because Capella, as it turns out, is not a single star at all. It is actually a pair of massive stars, bound to one another in a graceful, eternal orbit. Together they spin through space, each one influencing the other, neither overpowering nor retreating, locked in a sacred dance that defies time. From our place here on Earth, the light from these two suns reaches us as a single, unified glow. What we see is not separation, but the result of union, the merging of energies into a powerful, singular presence. That in itself is a miracle, isn't it? That two distinct, powerful entities can come together in such harmony that they shine as one. There's something deeply human about that, something familiar. In a world that often feels fractured and fast-moving, Capella offers us a gentle but radiant reminder. Unity is possible. Balance is real. The merging of dualities, masculine and feminine, logic and emotion, action and rest, is not only achievable, but perhaps even essential for our personal and collective evolution. Capella becomes more than a star in that moment. It becomes a teacher, a symbol, a mirror for the parts of ourselves that are seeking wholeness. If you've been feeling pulled in different directions lately, like your energy has been torn between conflicting choices or paths, Capella's golden light may feel like a balm for your soul. It doesn't speak loudly, it doesn't demand your attention, but it does offer a message, if you're still enough to hear it. It says, opposing energies don't have to cancel each other out. They can coexist. They can even enrich each other. In their dance, something greater is created, something luminous. And if you happen to be lucky enough to look through a telescope that night, you might see even more. Close to Capella, faint but present, are two small, red, dwarf stars, quiet companions often overlooked. They orbit at a great distance, not bright enough to catch the eye at a glance. Yet they are there, steady in their own paths, contributing to the greater celestial story. There is something quietly profound in that too. Even in the glow of brilliance, quieter energies are at work. They move with intention, unseen by many, but no less significant. Let that land in your heart. In your own life, you may be focused on the brighter, louder forces. The career moves, the major milestones, the big shifts. But the subtle energies, the quiet changes in mindset, the small acts of self-care, the moments of stillness, they matter deeply. Sometimes it's those gentle undercurrents that shape our reality most profoundly. As you stand beneath the stars on April 6th, take a moment to truly feel the energy of Capella. Breathe it in. Let it remind you that you don't have to resolve every contradiction or choose between extremes. You are allowed to hold multiple truths at once. You're capable of embodying balance, even when things feel chaotic. That light in the sky is ancient, constant, and wise, and it is offering you a reflection of your own potential. Then, as the Earth continues its graceful turn and April 7th arrives, look up again after the sun has made its descent. This time, your eyes will be drawn overhead, where two shining stars hold their place in the tapestry of night. Castor and Pollux, the twin stars of the Gemini constellation, will be watching from above. They too are more than just distant suns. They are storytellers, myth-bearers, spiritual symbols that have traveled through time to speak to us now. In mythology, Castor and Pollux were known as the Dioscuri, divine twins born of both mortal and immortal blood. One was human, the other divine. When Castor died, Pollux was given a choice: remain immortal and live alone, or share his immortality with his twin so they could be together forever. He chose unity. The gods, moved by such devotion, placed them in the stars as a symbol of loyalty, love, and eternal bond. Every time you look up and see them, you are witnessing that story of shared strength, of unwavering connection, of love that transcends even death. These twin stars echo a theme already whispered by Capella, that we are not meant to walk this journey alone. We are here to find our mirrors, our counterparts, our soul connections. Whether in friendship, family, partnership, or community, we are being called to recognize the importance of authentic connection. Ask yourself, who walks beside you? Who are you learning from, growing with, supporting and being supported by? These relationships are not random. They are sacred intersections in your life path, chosen on a soul level to help you evolve, to remind you of who you are, and to keep you grounded when the world feels too big or too heavy. And just like the red dwarfs near Capella, some of the most powerful connections in your life might be subtle. They might not make the loudest noise or take up the most space, but their presence shapes your world in quiet, vital ways. The wisdom of Castor and Pollux reminds us that connection isn't about constant intensity. It's about presence, loyalty, the kind of bond that doesn't waver when things get hard, the kind of love that says, I'll meet you where you are, and I'll stay. All of this unfolds within the sacred container of International Dark Sky Week, a time when we are invited to turn off the lights and look up. But this is not only about reducing light pollution or enjoying the beauty of the cosmos. It is, more deeply, a spiritual doorway, an invitation to return to the rhythms of the universe and the whispers of our own inner knowing. When artificial lights dim, something ancient awakens in us. A primal memory, a cellular recognition of our connection to the stars, to the earth, to each other. In the silence and the darkness, distractions fade, the noise quiets, and within that stillness, something else begins to speak. Our intuition, our higher self, the voice of the cosmos itself. It's in these moments under these darkened skies that we remember. We are not separate. We are not alone. We are part of something vast, beautiful, and intelligent, a living web of energy, light, and consciousness. And every breath we take, every heartbeat, is part of that rhythm. So let this week be more than just a moment to look at stars. Let it be a homecoming. Step outside, even if only for a few minutes. Let your bare feet touch the earth. Look up without needing to understand everything. Let yourself feel. Ask the stars what they have to show you. Ask Capella what balance means for you right now. Ask Castor and Pollux what connection you need to nurture. Ask the quiet darkness what it is trying to teach you. And then listen. Not with your ears, but with your heart. Because the stars are always speaking. They speak in light, in silence, in symbolism, and their messages are waiting for the ones who are ready to hear. Maybe that's you. Maybe this is your moment to return to balance, to deepen your connections, to recognize the sacred in the quiet and the powerful in the unseen. As the skies darken and the stars emerge, may you find not only beauty above, but clarity within. May you be reminded that just like Capella, you carry both fire and harmony within you. Just like Castor and Pollux, you are both individual and part of a greater whole. And just like those quiet red dwarfs, your subtle energy can shift entire galaxies, if only you trust it. So take a breath, look up, and remember who you are. As you move through the nights ahead, let your heart remain open, your mind stay endlessly curious, and your spirit ready to receive. There is always more unfolding above and within you than what first meets the eye. The universe never truly falls silent. It's always speaking, always guiding. The stars, quiet as they are not idle. They are ancient storytellers, singing their songs in a language that transcends words. And all you have to do is look up. In the stillness of the evening sky, something profound is always in motion. Something timeless, graceful, and far older than our worries or hopes. As night deepens and the sky reveals its hidden wonders, a silent cosmic story plays out, one of duality, connection, emotion, and insight. This story begins when you look up and catch sight of the twin stars, Castor and Pollux. Positioned side by side, they seem simple at first glance. Two bright points close together, but their story runs far deeper. These stars, long known as the heavenly twins, carry with them the myth of Castor, the mortal, and Pollux, the immortal. One lived and died on earth, the other hailed from the divine. Yet when one was taken from life, the other could not bear to go on without him. So they were granted a shared fate, alternating between the heavens and the underworld, always together, always united. This myth, held in the constellation Gemini, is not just about family or loyalty. It's a celestial meditation on contrast, balance, and the sacred dance between what is human and what is divine. Their light reminds us that we are not only bodies made of dust and bone, we are also souls touched by stardust. Each of us contains both the finite and the infinite, the grounded and the ethereal. We are not meant to choose one over the other, but to find grace in embracing both. Castor and Pollux teach us that true unity doesn't mean sameness. It means honoring the contrast, celebrating the beauty in difference, finding peace in paradox. But the sky has even more to offer on these quiet nights. If you let your eyes follow an invisible line, starting at Castor and drawn through Pollux, about 26 degrees farther into the darkness, you'll come upon something that many miss, the head of Hydra. It isn't bright or flashy. In fact, Hydra is easy to overlook, yet this is the beginning of the largest constellation in the night sky. Hydra stretches across an immense swath of stars, winding and weaving like a cosmic serpent through the darkness. This serpent, ancient and mysterious, is a symbol of the emotions we suppress, the truths we dare not voice, the shadows we tuck away in the corners of our being. Hydra does not roar or demand attention. It slithers subtly, quietly, asking us to notice, to slow down, to feel. It represents the parts of ourselves that we're still trying to understand, the unresolved feelings that linger just beneath our surface. Its presence near the twins isn't just a coincidence, it's a quiet invitation. It asks you to take what you've learned from Gemini's harmony of opposites and turn it inward, to examine your own inner contrasts, to look at the emotions you've silenced, the truths you've softened or ignored. It's a call to dive deeper into the waters of self-awareness, not with judgment or fear, but with curiosity and care. If you continue to trace this path across the sky, your gaze will land upon Alphard, the brightest star in Hydra, glowing like a solitary ember in the vast dark. Alphard is sometimes called the solitary one because it shines alone, with no other bright stars nearby, but don't mistake its isolation for weakness. Alphard pulses with a quiet power, like the beating heart of the serpent. Its message is gentle but clear. Even in our loneliness, even in our shadows, there is light. And within that light is wisdom, waiting to be claimed. You are not lost in your depths. You are discovering them. And every time you dare to feel deeply, every time you choose presence over distraction, every time you sit with yourself in honest reflection, you are coming home to your inner cosmos. You are becoming more whole. And then, as the sky shifts once more, and the date reaches April 8th, something rare and quietly breathtaking begins to unfold. In the twilight that follows the setting sun, if you look toward the southwest, you'll see Sirius begin to shimmer just above the horizon. The dog star, Sirius, is the brightest star in our night sky, blazing with intensity and presence. Above it, like a faithful companion, is Procyon, slightly dimmer, but still radiant in its own right. Together they form a graceful vertical alignment, two sentinels keeping watch over the night. Sirius has been revered since ancient times. The Egyptians believed its heliacal rising heralded the flooding of the Nile, a moment of rebirth and transformation. It was a star of power, of change, of divine timing. To gaze at Sirius is to remember that there is a rhythm to life that exists beyond the chaos. That when the time is right, everything shifts. That within the darkness, something new is always preparing to rise. Procyon, on the other hand, offers a gentler energy. It belongs to the constellation Canis Minor and has long symbolized loyalty, protection, and steadfast strength. Where Sirius is fire and awakening, Procyon is warmth and resilience. Together, these two stars embody the dual energy of transition and trust. They remind you that even as things change, and they always do, you have within you the strength to endure, the light to guide, and the loyalty to your own truth that will carry you through. So what do these alignments mean for you? They are more than beautiful sights to admire. They are mirrors, messages, reminders that the journey through the stars is also a journey through yourself. Castor and Pollux ask you to hold both your human flaws and your divine spark with equal reverence. Hydra invites you to honor the feelings you've hidden and to trust that even in emotional complexity, there is clarity to be found. Alphard pulses with the quiet power of self-understanding and the courage to face your solitude. Sirius and Procyon stand tall as luminous beacons, reminding you that you are never truly without direction, even when the light seems low. These stars do not just shine, they whisper, they teach, and they remind us that everything above reflects something within, that every night sky holds a map, not just to the heavens, but to the soul. So as you move through these nights, don't just look up to admire. Look up to remember. Look up to connect. Let your heart respond to the beauty. Let your spirit respond to the mystery. Let your soul respond to the invitation. Because you are a part of this vast and glowing story. You belong to the sky just as much as it belongs to you. And somewhere between the mortal and immortal, between light and shadow, between longing and becoming, you are writing your own constellation. Their vertical alignment in the sky isn't just a breathtaking sight, It's a quiet, sacred language. It speaks in symbols and light, whispering truths to the soul in ways that words never could. When you look up and see those stars, those ancient beacons suspended like delicate lanterns in the sky, it's not just about astronomy, it's about memory, it's about presence, it's about remembering that even when life feels uncertain, heavy, or disoriented, there's still something within you that knows the way. The dog stars, Sirius and Procyon, glow with a kind of quiet certainty, standing tall in their celestial alignment. Their vertical formation doesn't just catch the eye, it stirs something in the spirit. It reminds you that clarity and courage are not distant traits to be earned. They already live within you. Even in your most burdened moments, when your heart feels like it's dragging behind you and your mind is clouded with questions, that light inside you doesn't go out. It might flicker, it might dim, but it never disappears. So if you've been wandering through emotional fog lately, feeling lost, disconnected, or just plain weary, go outside and find a moment beneath the twilight sky. Let the evening air wrap around you like a soft cloak. Look up. Let the dog stars catch your gaze. There's something deeply healing about remembering that we share the same sky as our ancestors, as dreamers across the globe, and as the version of ourselves we've yet to meet. The stars become a mirror, not of what we see, but of what we've forgotten. And then, just when it seems like the sky has given you all it has to offer, April 9th brings another quiet miracle. Rising gently in the northeastern sky is Vega, the luminous jewel of the Lyra constellation. It doesn't shout its arrival. It simply glows, unwavering and sure, like a soft bell chiming in the distance. Vega is more than just a star. It's a symbol, a cosmic reminder that the seasons are shifting, the earth is turning, and life is, once again, preparing to bloom. Often called the summer star, Vega's reappearance in the night sky is a tender announcement that warmth is returning. Not just in the weather, but in us. Renewal doesn't always show up as fireworks or sudden change. Sometimes it comes softly, steadily, like the rising of Vega, a light that returns after long nights, a promise that the soul too will thaw. And while Vega is a wonder scientifically, one of the brightest stars we can see with the naked eye, it also carries stories, myths, ancient meanings that remind us we are not just observers of the cosmos, but participants in its unfolding. Across cultures, Vega has been seen as a celestial queen, a divine harp, a point of orientation in the night. Its light carries artistic energy, the kind that stirs the heart awake and urges you to create, to imagine, to dream again. If you want to find Vega for yourself, look first for the Big Dipper, high in the northeastern sky. Let your gaze rest on Mizar, the bright bend in the dipper's handle. If you look closely, binoculars help. You'll see a smaller star tucked beside it, Alcor. That tiny star has long been used as a vision test, but tonight it's also a directional guide. Draw an invisible line from Mizar through Alcor and extend it downward toward the horizon. That's where Vega will rise. Quietly, like a friend, returning from a long journey. These celestial moments, these movements in the sky, aren't just science. They are sacred. They're the universe speaking to us in the only language that predates time itself, light. They tell stories not just about constellations, but about us, about the balance we seek, the truths we carry, the transformation we undergo, even when we can't quite put it into words. The Gemini twins remind us that duality isn't a flaw, but a feature of our design. We are both light and shadow, joy and pain, knowing and wondering. Hydra invites us to descend, to swim through the waters of our own depths and discover the wisdom that lives beneath the surface. The dog stars, Sirius and Procyon, serve as guardians, standing firm through life's uncertainty, showing us how to remain grounded while reaching upward. And now, Vega arrives as the messenger of return, a radiant affirmation that light always comes back, that after stillness there is motion, after winter there is warmth, after grief there is grace. So take time with the stars, let them speak to you, not through facts and figures, but through the hush that fills your chest when you realize just how vast this world truly is. Let them show you how small you are in the best way possible, how your struggles, while real and worthy of compassion, are held in something much larger than yourself, a design, a rhythm, a sky that has never stopped turning. Then, as April 10th unfolds, the sky stretches open again, making space for one more familiar figure, Leo. As darkness deepens, look to the southern heavens. There, standing proud and unmistakable, is the sickle of Leo, a backwards question mark made of stars that curves like a celestial scythe. At its base, Regulus glows fiercely, a point of powerful light at the heart of the lion. Regulus has long been known as a royal star. In ancient times, it was tied to kings and leaders, to nobility and honor. But its power isn't about status. It's about energy. It's about embodying your inner lion. That fierce, courageous part of you that maybe you haven't touched in a while. The part that says, I will not hide. I will not shrink. I will meet this life with my whole chest open. As you follow the rest of Leo's constellation, you'll see his body stretch in a long triangle, his form elegant and in motion. It's easy to imagine him not just standing, but walking, mid-stride, quiet but commanding, making his way across the sky without hesitation. That's the energy he brings to us now. Not reckless boldness, but steady confidence. Not forced courage, but rooted knowing. So if you've been waiting for a sign to move, to speak up, to step forward, to claim what's yours, let this be it. The lion doesn't second-guess his place. He doesn't wait for permission, he just knows, and you do too, even if that knowing has been buried beneath fear or fatigue. Strength isn't always about volume. Sometimes it's in the calm way you say no, or in the quiet way you show up every day, even when no one sees the effort. It's in the decisions you make when no one's watching. It's in the dignity you carry through both triumph and trial. The night sky, in all its unfolding grace, is a love letter, a reminder from the cosmos that you are not alone, that you belong to something wider, older, and more intelligent than anything we can fully grasp. And in that belonging, there's healing, there's guidance, there's a path, even when you can't yet see where it leads. So take your time under these stars. Watch them rise. Feel the weight of the day fall away. Let your breath deepen. Let your shoulders soften. Let your heart listen. There is something waiting for you, not just out there in the heavens, but deep within you. A spark that never left. A voice that still whispers. A dream that still wants to live. Let Vega remind you of your light. Let Leo show you your strength. Let the dog stars anchor you in hope. And let this sky, this ancient, ever-moving sky, hold you, guide you, and gently, lovingly, lead you back to yourself. Take a few moments tonight, just a quiet breath beneath the heavens, and let your eyes wander until you find Leo among the stars. There's something ancient and deeply stirring about seeing the lion stretch across the sky, a constellation that has watched over humanity for millennia. Let its regal shape awaken something in you. Let the image of that celestial lion stir your heart and remind you that you, too, carry the essence of grace and strength. You're capable of moving forward with dignity, even when the path ahead feels uncertain. Leo, proud and unwavering, is not just a pattern of stars. It is a symbol, a mirror of your own courage. In its quiet brilliance, it whispers to your soul, encouraging you to trust the strength that lives within you, even when the world around you feels unsteady. Yet the magic of April's night sky doesn't begin and end with constellations. There is more stirring above us now than ancient patterns. There is movement, momentum, cosmic conversation. Look west after sunset, and you'll find Mars, glowing faintly, still burning with its distinct red fire. It's no longer as brilliant as it was just weeks ago, but that's part of the message. It still burns. Even when its light softens, it doesn't disappear. There's a quiet resilience to Mars right now, a humbling presence above Aldebaran's warm orange shimmer in Taurus. Mars reminds us that our drive doesn't always have to be fierce to be effective. Sometimes it's in the softer flame that our real strength is found. Even when you're not at full force, you are still burning with purpose. Even in your quieter moments, there is movement. Mars tells us to keep going, not with frantic energy, but with steady will. To remember that even when the road narrows or becomes unclear, the fire within doesn't go out. And if you're an early riser, or if you feel called to greet the day in silence before the world fully wakes, there's a rare and precious gift waiting for you just before dawn. As the horizon begins to blush with the promise of morning, Jupiter and Saturn rise together in the southeast. They are not just two planets, they are celestial archetypes. Jupiter, the harbinger of hope, ambition, and expansion, shines with a clarity that's impossible to ignore. Its steady light feels like a reminder that there is more out there waiting for you. More opportunity, more joy, more abundance, if you're willing to reach for it. Saturn follows closely, a more subtle companion, but no less important. Saturn's light is softer, quieter, but deeply grounding. If Jupiter is the dream, Saturn is the structure that helps that dream become reality. Together, these planetary giants create a sacred balance, one urging you to believe in your potential, the other reminding you to respect the process. It's easy to get lost in dreaming, just as it's easy to feel stuck in the grind. But when these energies align, they teach us that growth is a dance between the two. Jupiter expands, Saturn stabilizes. You need both. You are both. And as we continue moving through this month, we enter a particularly potent and meaningful moment, International Dark Sky Week. This is more than an initiative to turn off the lights and let the stars shine more clearly. It's a spiritual metaphor made manifest. When the artificial noise quiets, when the brightness of distraction fades, what remains is the pure truth of the cosmos, and it's breathtaking. During this time, the sky becomes a mirror. It becomes a space where we can reflect, release, and realign. We are offered not just clarity of vision, but clarity of soul. Let this sacred week be a ritual, an invitation to shed the old skin of who you've been and step into the evolving truth of who you're becoming. So many of us carry the weight of outdated stories, beliefs that no longer fit, fears that no longer serve, identities that we've outgrown. The dark sky is not empty. It is open. It is waiting. It is calling you to let go of what you no longer need and to allow space for what is ready to take root. Feel your feet on the earth and your eyes on the stars. This is your axis, your point of alignment. The earth grounds you. The sky elevates you. And you, miraculous, resilient, expanding you, are the bridge between the two. You are both human and spirit, both physical and luminous. When you recognize that, something powerful shifts. You stop chasing change and start embodying it. So speak these words with intention. not just as a mantra, but as a vow to your future self. I am open to growth and ready for transformation. Let it land in your body. Let it echo through your thoughts. Let it settle into your bones. And when you feel the truth of it stir something in you, say it again. Louder this time, braver this time. I am ready for change. Write it down. Whisper it to the night. Paint it on a canvas. Say it into the mirror. However you choose to declare it, say it with the knowing that the universe hears you and responds. Take a few more minutes, if you can, to reflect beneath this sky. Ask yourself, what am I clinging to that no longer supports me? What version of me is dissolving? And what version is emerging? What does this sky stir in my soul? Sometimes the act of asking is more important than getting the answer right away. Because in asking, you open a door. And if you're called to, share that reflection. Let it be seen. There's profound beauty in connection, in vulnerability, in choosing to walk this path, not in isolation, but in communion. We are all under the same sky, after all, each of us navigating our own journeys, yet tethered by the same cosmic rhythm. When we share what we feel, when we speak what moves us, we weave stronger threads between one another. Threads made not of words, but of truth, of intention, of light. And as we continue to walk together beneath this endlessly shifting sky, remember that you're not alone. These cosmic moments aren't just about the stars or the planets. They're about us, about how we live, how we love, how we rise, and how we choose to show up for ourselves and each other. If this resonated with you, if something in your soul stirred while reading, then let that be your sign. Let it be a quiet but powerful nod from the universe that yes, you're on the right path. Yes, you're growing. Yes, the change you seek is not only possible, it's already in motion. And if you'd like more guidance, more heart-centered reflection, or simply a reminder that the stars are always speaking, you're warmly invited to subscribe to Sacred Promises. Together, we'll keep walking this path, rooted to the earth, inspired by the sky, and endlessly open to what's coming next. If you're finding value in this content, consider supporting our channel by giving us super thanks. It truly makes a difference. And please don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting updates and content that can inspire and encourage you. Your support means so much, and we are grateful for each of you.